It's up to us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way and stop it before it happens.
To get a friend home, safe.
It's up to us to look out for each other.
To not look the other way.
It's up to us to stand up.
To step in, to stop sexual assault.
It's up to us. Contact TEARS now on *134 *7355 hash.
So, Mara Glennie, welcome. Thank you so much for making the time to be here with us. At Girls4Girls, there's a concept that we talk about. We always say, tell your story. For us to impart messages as mentors. It's different standing like we're in a classroom and I say, here's a PowerPoint presentation. What we ask is to see a piece of you. Can you share with us your journey to what it took for you to found TEARS, the organization we talked about earlier?
Thank you for the question, and I'm very pleased to be able to share that with all the viewers today. So I have suffered from intimate partner violence that nearly cost me my life. And the first journey I want to share with all of you was how it made me feel. I felt ugly, I felt alone, I felt ashamed, even though it wasn't my shame. As women, as Tanda explained to us, we are taught to take the men's shame or the perpetrator's shame. I felt ashamed. I felt a failure. I actually couldn't go on with my life anymore. Not only had I been physically hurt, but I was emotionally broken. So the story that I want to share, the first one, is that as part of my recovery, a friend invited me to go and work in England for a while because I wasn't in touch with my life here. I just was hidden away in my home. And in part of the trip of planning to go to England, I left via Cape Town. I decided that I'd been hiding away for 5 months and that it would be a good idea to learn new makeup because I hadn't been doing this stuff. I had hated myself so much. So I went into a place in Claremont in Cape Town and I said, show me how to do my makeup. And as I sat there, the woman said, I can't help you. I can't help you because you're crying all the time. And I said, I'm so ugly. No one's ever going to love me again. And I actually just can't do this. So the first message I want to say is that when you have been abused or raped, you need to find your own self-worth. You need to go to someone who can talk you through the situation, who can help you find the healing that you need and help you to actually be able to look in the mirror and say, as I said at the beginning, I love my life. So one of the things that I do when I give talks is I wear my crown. I'm pretty gutsy doing that with all the beauty queens on this program, but I want to tell you all that I learned to love myself. So my message to every girl there watching is put in places where you can help yourself and learn to help yourself. Do gym, go out somewhere. Don't live your life trying to please a young man or your parents. You need to come to terms with pleasing yourself. And I don't mean that to be a rebel. What I mean is you need to be okay with yourself. You need to look into the mirror every day and say, I did the best I could do today. And you can't live up to anybody else's standard. And forgiveness of yourself, because although you were not to blame for your rape or your situation, we are taught as women to take that blame. Don't take the blame. Nobody ever deserves to be raped or abused. So how did I start TEARS? That was your question. When I went to the police station to report my abuse, I was in a bad way. I was physically hurt, but I was more emotionally shattered. I could not believe that this would happen to me from someone I was married to, because this, to throw in a fact here, most violence is caused by someone we know. It is not the dark parking lot or the felt shortcut. It is somebody you know, your grandfather, your husband, the pastor, the pastor's wife, because it's not only women, men, it can be women too. So I went to the police station. And unfortunately, the lady was extremely unhelpful. And I was crying in the queue, and I went home, and I thought, I just want to die. This can't be my life. So I didn't die. I did get well. It took me quite a long time. When I got well, I thought to myself, what should have happened when I stood in that queue? Because quite honestly, people who complain really cheese me off. We can all make a difference in some way. So I decided that when I got well, I would reach out to other women and help them. So I developed a service where on any phone anywhere in South Africa, you can dial our number and you can get help. So we have that number now, and I'm proud of that because we've helped thousands of women over the years we've been going. But what I want to also say to the young girls who are watching, put your crown on, look around, stand up to your friends, because you know, bullying in school is also abuse. And bullying often leads boys to do raping. And it can be over any reason that's maybe the girl's dress. Well, if she has a poor dress, ask her if she needs help, because we don't reach out. People didn't know what to say to me. They were embarrassed. And even now when I go to places and I say, I started TEARS because I'm a survivor. That means, and they don't know what to say. Guess what? We need to learn the right words. We need to really, really start caring about our next door neighbors. So the last part of the question is, what can we do about rape and abuse? So the first thing is, someone tells me that's happened to them, the very, very first thing, and I'm underlying this point, I believe you. I want to help you. Those are the words people need to hear. And at TEARS Foundation, we will help you if you're a sex worker, if you are transsexual, bisexual, or whatever, because we are not against anybody. We are against rape and abuse. We stand ardently on that, and I will help people, and our organization will. Because, you know, as our previous speaker said, we do have certain amounts of conditioning in our life. When I started TEARS, I had to realize, well, maybe I'm not as friendly with transgender people as I should be. And I made a point of educating myself on their needs, and I reach out to them. And it is very, very important for each one of you, if you have a friend in distress, to be there for her. So around the world, we are told that it takes a woman 7 tries, seven tries to leave a marriage or an abusive relationship. Why would it take 7 tries? Because we don't teach young girls to live on their own. You live with mommy and daddy and you go into a relationship. We need to teach women to fly. Have your own flat, share with a girlfriend. Be young for a while before you take on the role of being a mum or a partner or whatever. So we need to teach women to take their rightful place. The next thing that you need is they don't leave because they've got nowhere to go. Offer them a place to stay. Offer to help them move. Do you know how many people stay in a relationship because they don't have any skills? So girls, learn, get a qualification, whatever course you can go on, be like a sponge, go out and take that course, because you need to be able to earn your own money. To take that job that we were talking about earlier, you have to have the skills. So there's nothing wrong with being a filing clerk, but it's much better to be the managing director. So that's what your aim should be. Put your crown on your head, put your vision up on the vision board and say, I want to be a managing director. But you don't get given that task. You have to work for it.
Okay, No, thank you so much, Mara. I think you've actually like leapt ahead, because I was going to use this segment to ask about, the practical things that we can do as individuals to support people who are affected by gender-based violence. And you've been very clear about some of them. I think similar to Tando, what you're saying is we need to change the way we see things. If you don't like transgender people, ask yourself why you don't like them. If they're affected in gender-based violence, by gender-based violence, and you say that you're against it, how can you, when you don't want to recognize groups that are killed because of their sexuality? So that's one, I guess, addressing the norms that we have within our heads. But you've also talked about the app that you have at TEARS. Just tell us a little, again, I'm looking for practical. Tell us a little bit about the partnership that's in place with Namola. For me, Namola is actually one of the apps that I have, and I tend to tell every young woman in my life to make sure that they have with them. And again, just for everyone's information, there's a pack that we're preparing that everyone will be able to access that has in there the lovely leaflet from TEARS that actually gives a step-by-step how to support a woman or any victim through going to the police station and just being there for the person. So there's a really nice set of tips that are provided in there. But just some of the innovations that TEARS has that we should know about, and where can we access these? Because if we want to support someone, we need to know where to find these.
So thank you for that. We have a website, www.tears.co.za. We do have a plan for leaving an abusive relationship on that website that you can download. I personally view that web every single day. So if you send a query to me, you'll get an answer from us. The next thing that I really just wanted to say is that when you need help, you need it now. You need it right now. Your life might be in threat. So I did a partnership with Namola, which is a free app on my phone. And I especially have put my service onto USSD. The reason I did that is I spent 30 years working in the townships. So it's an area I know a little. And one of the things I realized is that I wanted to reach the poorest of the poor and the richest of the rich. So the poorest of the poor don't have money on their phone. So Namola is a smart app, and on our phone, it's a USSD app. So it's a totally free service. So if you phone Namola through us, you will get an immediate person on the phone phoning you back and saying, how can I help you? So it saves lives, and we have saved lives. So if you want to download the Namola app yourselves now, today, that would be Namola, Namola, and it's a free download. And I urge you absolutely all to download it because it does save lives. Now, we get a printout every day of every person who's called us through Namola. And you can choose, because I know, have been in an abusive situation, that sometimes you can't talk. So you can dial the number and select that we should call you tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. And that's what we do. Every day, we call back all the people who've asked for help on our Namola number.
So something that, Mara, you don't even know I'm going to talk about this, but as part of the registrations, it was yesterday, one of the young ladies reached out to us and just shared. She just wrote her story of having gone through rape and put it on this email. And I didn't know what to do. I mean, we're managing registrations. So I quickly shot it out to the TEARS team, and I said to them, this is gut-wrenching. By midday today, TEARS had already reached out to her, had already given her direction. So for me, I think what I appreciated is that there's a human face and that you're rapid with your response, because I think sometimes the victims don't ever get to report or don't ever find solace and support because of the time lag between, when the incidents happens and then, when the support comes through. So I think we appreciate that. We didn't know it, but you were actually tested in the process and you delivered. So thank you so much, and kudos to the team at TEARS.
Call TEARS *134*7355# or visit our website tears.co.za.